Has been working for a little while on a draft resolution to address the ISIL threat, and in the light of recent developments, we are planning to accelerate consideration of that draft resolution, and we'll be circulating a draft to the 15 members of the Security Council later this evening. And that draft contains a number of elements, including a very strong statement of message of condemnation of ISIL, but also some practical steps on tackling the funding and recruitment for ISIL, and also listing key ISIL leaders under the Al-Qaeda sanctions regime. So we hope to be able to negotiate that over the next few days with other members of the Security Council.
What's happening in Syria today, there was a lot of murders by ISIS in the Syrian side. Why does not, since the activity of ISIS is not limited to Iraq, it's also across the border, why is it limited today only to what's happening in Iraq?
You're right that the activities of ISIL are not limited to Iraq, but the particular focus of the press statement agreed today was the horrendous things that are going on in the Nineveh Plain, in Sinjar and Tal Afar. And such was the horror at what is going on, it was felt that the Security Council ought to issue a press release specifically on that issue. That does not mean that we are not deeply concerned about ISIL activities elsewhere.
The Iraqis, have they approached Russia for military help?
I'm not. Well, we are supporting the government of Iraq. We are supporting it morally, politically, and materially. As to the latest developments, I may not be aware of some things which may have happened.
This statement is strictly about Iraq, whereas ISIL is involved in Syria, and they are doing, even in Lebanon, and they are doing massacres both in Syria and Lebanon.
You're absolutely right. But in contrast to our Western colleagues who are blocking one thing after another in Ukraine, and I'm not trying to connect all those things, we are trying not to overcomplicate matters. We are dealing with serious issues. So, of course, we could start this conversation, and we did make that point in our discussions in the Security Council, as did some other delegations, that the ISIL, it should be regarded as a force working regionally, not only in Iraq, but also in Syria. But today, there is an extremely urgent and grave situation in Iraq, so we didn't want to overcomplicate the need for the Security Council to produce a prompt response to that challenge.